I'll start. First, a little backstory. It was years ago when I worked as a nurse. The hospital I work at has a weird thing that happens during the night, not sure how frequently. It happened often enough that all of the nurses there knew about it. There was this ghost that we called the White Lady because she was old and dressed in all white. You'd see her rounding a corner and entering rooms at the edge of your vision, or a patient would tell you that they had already been helped by the nurse in white. It was never good when you'd see the White Lady entering a room or a patient mentioning her, because 100% of the time that patient would die within the next 24 hours, even if they were perfectly fine at the time. It was almost like she was letting us call the patient's loved ones so that they could say goodbye, but whatever. Be me. Stormy night shift. Baku is pretty calm. Finish my rounds and head to the nurse's station to update charts and chat. Phone rings. Someone reports that they saw the White Lady enter a room. Standard procedure at this point. Start heading to the room of the going to die patient to get more info. Phones start blowing up. People are reporting that the White Lady is showing up in other rooms. Fuck.jpg. All reports are rapid with multiple sightings in some rooms. Something like this has never happened before. Start freaking out and running to the rooms with the other nurses. Show up and everyone is confused in moving patients to a different wing. We get all of the patients that were reported moved to different rooms. A few minutes go by while we are trying to figure out what to do. Hear this ungodly crash and the building shakes. Some yelling and more phone calls. A crane that was doing construction on the hospital fell. The crane crushed the wing that we moved all of the patients from. MFW, there were no casualties because of the White Lady going nuts. Thank you, Omen of Death, very cool. So this happened over several years in Appalachia. Not super spooky but definitely eerie. Be me in 2013. Experienced /up/doorsman who regularly backpacks overnight in Appalachia. Find an awesome campsite on top of a ridge. This spot is at least a 2-hour hike into the woods and then another half-mile up off the main trail. Have to scramble up ridge to get here. Trying to say it's very hidden and somewhat inaccessible. Pristine site. Good kitchen area on ridge and good campsite area about 200 meters back into the woods. On the ridge there's a small memorial marker presumably for a dead climber. It has a circle of rocks with 2 pieces of wood tied with climbing rope and a carabiner. We'll post photo in next post. Untouched rocks with fresh moss, pine cones and flowers decorating. Feels out of place but also peaceful. This spot seems very remote but the market adds to the atmosphere and beautiful view. Have a great solo night at peace and comfy, my guys. Even see a shooting star. Next morning go to marker on the ridge and take pic related. Comfy AF boys. Hike out and tell no one about this amazing spot. Continued. Be me. Be nervous and scared all the time. Follow the path of initiation. Acknowledges the 7 laws. Strengthens will. Uses my will to manipulate polarity. Manages to turn nervosity into relaxation and scare into confidence. Starts to have nightmares every night. Wakes up every night, very scared, unable to remember the nightmares. Except last night where I dreamed to be in complete dark. Sees a face in the dark. Starts to scream once I realize it's the face of a gray alien. Wakes up. Be scared for the rest of the night. Am I being attacked by the Matrix? Here is something from me that happened years ago when I was 12 or younger. Be me, sleeping at the top bed of the bunk bed we have in our room. This bunk bed for me and my big bro, so after he went to university it was all mine and I preferred sleeping on the top bed. Middle of the night I wake up for no reason. There is a shadow figure 2 meters away from me. It is tall, its head almost reaches the ceiling. At this point my brain isn't working well, I just woke up. My big bro is also tall, not nearly as much though, and he sometimes wakes me up like this when he is back from the uni. My numb brain thinks it's him, so I raise from the bed a little bit. I say, bro? It closes in on me very quickly like sliding. I gasp and back off a bit. It disappears. Too tired I return to sleep. To this day I think it was just my sleepy mind but am not sure. It wasn't a sleep paralysis, I could still move and talk. I also have a few more less spooky experience like this. Be me just now, dreaming. I'm reliving events that happened to me lately, but slightly different. For example, I stayed with a friend for a week. I see that in a dream but with a different friend. I also notice things are altered to please me over time. I can see a girl being built, altered over time. There is two-person next to me and one says I wonder how is she gonna be this time. I say I will see and tell you. She says oh you may not experience her but real one definitely will. I say what do you mean? Other two panics and says oh please tell me you don't think you are the real one. I need you to tell me you are not the real one. I cave in and say I am not the real one. Wake up and sweat. What the fuck was that? Am I not the real me? Am I just a program or instinct in the brain of my owner? Be me. Herding sheep. Notice something tugging me to a cave of shrubs near the end of the valley pasture. Curiosity.jpg. Walk there. Bush lights on fucking fire. Doesn't burn for some fucking reason. Starts talking to me. Bush tells me it's God. Tells me to go to some desert kingdom. Says my people and his are there. What do? Be me, working pre-kung flu in a very nice hotel in Vienna as a night receptionist. Last guest's return, I see all key present and lock the front door at midnight. Me being a very concentrated reader and an exam coming up, I get an unusual strong urge to fap and a diamond boner. Nothing unusual since I'm in constant no fap. Try to cool on the convertible bed because I don't want to break Lent. Fall asleep and have the most erotic dream I had in my life. Dream involves redhead. Ring. The bell rings and rips me out of bliss. Put on tie and look towards the front door. My heart almost stops. It is a pregnant redhead who asks if she can take a piss. Oh, to come all this way only to bait me with a relationship query, and I thought I was the cruel one. How conniving of me. At a minimum, know that I'm very grateful. 3. A. Temperance and 3 of Cups falling in promises good times ahead. Overall the two of you will bring on a balanced relationship. T has plenty of room to blossom into very comfortable thing. Oh, I am so glad to hear that. I've been through hell relationship-wise, so something stable is exactly what's required. But the moon here does spark some doubts, but again, that's what the card mostly represents, doubts, insecurities. Are those yours? It's difficult to say, could be me. I'm worried that he's not serious about the connection. Based on his bio, he's not clear on what he's looking for, and in contrast, I'm quite blunt. Thank you. I'm working on my own personal anxieties, regardless of if you were picking up on mine or his. The past few months I've been trying to rebuild my sense of identity after a period of psychosis. Joshua Christ. Be me. Making bread. Add yeast. It doesn't rise. Believe I've got living yeast in my dough anyway. Gray alien porn. Be me and see this. Diamonds. Gasm.